Hi friends, Miss Lofties here with another story for you. So, I was thinking about social emotional learning and our big feelings, and I thought, what might be some big feelings that my friends are having at home right now? And then I started thinking about bedtime and the dark, and a lot of kids get a little bit scared in the dark. If you've ever felt scared in the dark, maybe not every day, but just once or twice, wiggle your ear. I think most people have felt scared in the dark sometime. Well, today we're going to read a story called Oh Bother, Someone's Afraid of the Dark. This is a story about Winnie the Pooh and Piglet too. It's written by Betty Birney. She's the author. She wrote all the words in this story. The illustrator is Daryl Baker. He wrote all the pictures, or drew all the pictures, excuse me. The sun was setting as Winnie the Pooh and Piglet headed home after a day of exploring the 100-acre wood. "Piglet, it was a wonderful day," said Pooh. "Of course, every day is wonderful if you have a full jar of honey." Pooh peered in the jar he was carrying. "Oh, bother," he said. "My full jar of honey is almost empty." "Look," Piglet said. "Tigger and Owl are pitching a tent under the trees." "Hi, Pooh and Piglet," Tigger shouted to them. "I've talked Owl into camping out tonight." "That sounds like fun, doesn't it, Piglet?" said Pooh, as he stopped to wave to his friends. "No, it doesn't," Piglet answered quickly, and he went right on walking. I think Piglet's having a strong feeling. Think about what you think it might be. Pooh caught up with Piglet. Soon they reached a fork in the path. It was time to say goodnight, but Piglet did not want Pooh to leave. "Walk home with me," Piglet begged Pooh. "You can sleep over. We'll camp inside tonight." Pooh had never heard of camping inside before. "I have a full jar of honey at home," offered Piglet. "Sounds like a good idea," said Pooh, patting his tummy. "Let's go." As they arrived at Piglet's house, Pooh stopped and pointed up to the sky. "Look, Piglet, there's the first star," said Pooh. "Let's get inside, quick," said Piglet, whose only thought was the night was getting dark very fast. "But I have to make a wish," Pooh protested as Piglet pulled him into the door. There's that feeling of Piglets again. When they were inside the house, Pooh was surprised to see Piglet push a large table in front of the door. "What are you doing?" he asked. "Can't be too careful," Piglet answered. "Oh?" said Pooh. He wasn't sure what Piglet meant, but he didn't ask any more questions. He was too busy worrying about Piglet's jar of honey. Pooh and Piglet settled down for a pleasant evening at home. First, Piglet worked on a jigsaw puzzle, and Pooh ate honey. The puzzle reminded Piglet of something, so he told a story about 3 little piglets. We know that story. And then Pooh ate more honey. Then Pooh told about the huge honeybee that he had followed the previous spring. "I knew there would be gallons of honey just waiting for me because the bee was this big," said Pooh, holding up his paws. Then sadly, the bee just disappeared. After Piglet told Pooh how much he enjoyed the honeybee story, the two friends sang songs. Before Piglet knew it, the honey was all gone, and he was feeling very tired. "I think I'd like to go to sleep now, Piglet," he said. However, Piglet still did not want to go to bed. He suggested they finish the evening with a game of haycorn checkers. Pooh tried to play, but he just couldn't stay awake any longer. "All right, Pooh," Piglet said with a sigh. "I guess it's time to go to bed." Before they went to bed, Pooh and Piglet brushed their teeth. Standing at the wash basin, Piglet suddenly saw a horrible sight. It was the shadow of a huge creature with a stick in his hand. "Pooh," said Piglet, trembling, "there's a horrible, looked around and saw the shadow on the wall. He waved his toothbrush at it. "Look, it's waving back at me," said Pooh. "Why, it is me. It's actually my shadow." "Oh," said Piglet, "I guess you're right." So there was that big feeling again. Piglet was feeling scared. Can you make a scared face with me? Very good. Scared. Your eyes get wide, your eyebrows might go up, and your teeth might pull back. He was feeling very scared over something that he thought was a scary heffalump. But Pooh said, "Look closer, Piglet. That's just my shadow." Did Piglet need to be scared? No. When he looked closer, he found out what it really was. At last, Pooh and Piglet were ready to go to sleep. "I think I'll just check under the bed for heffalumps," said Piglet. "Do you see any?" asked Pooh. "No," Piglet admitted, "but that doesn't mean they're not there." Piglet climbed into bed. Pooh yawned and he switched off the lamp. "You can't turn off the lamp," said Piglet, turning it back on again. "We need it on to keep the heffalumps away." "But Piglet, you blocked the door. A heffalump can't get in," reminded his friend, and he gave Piglet a reassuring pat. "I hope you're right," said Piglet uncertainly as he switched off the lights. Friends, if you're wondering what a heffalump is, in the Winnie the Pooh world, it's kind of like an elephant. Pooh fell asleep immediately, but Piglet stayed wide awake. "Pooh," he whispered, "I hear something." Pooh did not answer. "Pooh," whispered Piglet, a little louder this time, "it's definitely a heffalump of something." Pooh still did not answer. So Piglet gave Pooh a push and said, "There's a heffalump right in this room. Don't you hear it going tick-tock, tick-tock?" "Huh?" said Pooh, awake at last. "Oh, yes, I do. Don't worry, Piglet. I'll get him." Pooh grabbed his pillow, stood up, and pounced on the heffalump. "Got you!" he shouted. So Piglet heard a sound, tick-tock, tick-tock, and he thought it was a heffalump. Do you think it was a heffalump? I don't know, but it made Piglet feel really scared. But Pooh was brave, and he went to investigate. He went to see what it was, and it wasn't a heffalump after all, was it? It wasn't a big elephant-like creature. Pooh switched on the lamp, and he lifted up the pillow. "What do you know?" Pooh said. "A heffalump looks just like an alarm clock." "Oh, it is an alarm clock," said Piglet, very relieved. Pooh thought for a moment. "Piglet," he said, "if I didn't know better, I would think you were afraid of the dark." "Well, there are some scary things in the dark," said Piglet. "Like heffalumps and jaguars." "But Piglet, we haven't actually seen a heffalump, have we?" said Pooh. "We thought we saw one, but it was only your shadow. Then we thought we heard one, but it was just an alarm clock," said Piglet. Piglet continued, "I guess heffalumps are just in my imagination." "I guess that's true," said Pooh. "So there's nothing to be afraid of anymore." Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. Piglet didn't want to answer, but Pooh said that he would go and ask who was there before he opened the door. Piglet decided it would be safer if he followed Pooh. "Who is it?" asked Pooh at the front door. From outside, a voice answered, "It's Tigger and Owl, Pooh." Suddenly, Piglet hid under the table and began shaking with fear. He was so scared he was shaking. "Tigger and the Howling Boo," he whispered. "That's worse than a heffalump." Pooh was puzzled. "That didn't sound like a howling boo," he said out loud. "It sounded like someone we know. Think, think, think." "You're right," said Piglet. "I have heard that sound before." "It sounded like Owl," said Pooh. "He was saying it's Tigger and Owl, Pooh." "If it's only Tigger and Owl, there's nothing to be afraid of," said Piglet, greatly relieved once more. Pooh helped Piglet push the table away. When they opened the door, Owl and Tigger were standing in the light of the firefly lantern. "Come on out," said Tigger, bouncing excitedly. "There's something we've got to show you." So Tigger was so excited he couldn't even stand still. He was bouncing up and down. He wanted to show his friends something really cool. "Isn't it awfully dark out there?" asked Piglet, who was still a little bit nervous. "Wait till you see the lights in the sky," said Owl. When Piglet and Pooh stepped outside, they saw the sky was full of glittering lights. "Those star pictures in the sky are constellations," said Owl, looking up at the sky. "There's Big Bear, and over there is Little Bear." So see, Big Bear and Little Bear. "Oh, yes," said Pooh, "and I think I see Big Honey Jar and Little Honey Jar." "Show him the Tiggerific picture," said Tigger, bouncing impatiently. "Piglet," said Owl, pointing a wing upward, "we think that constellation right there looks just like you." "Why, it does look like me!" cried Piglet, staring out at the night sky and forgetting all about being afraid. The four friends watched the starry sky for a long time. Pooh put his arm around Piglet. "No need to be afraid of the dark any more," he said. "Now that you know you have a friendly Piglet looking down on you." "You're right," said Piglet, "and that Piglet doesn't look afraid of the dark." All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that story. I will see you soon, I hope. Bye.